go. Well, welcome to Table Talk and Drinks, where we drink adult beverages and talk about tabletop RPGs. We'll talk about rules that you may or may not know, one-shot ideas, campaign ideas, which we're going into tonight. Character ideas, we might get into that too. And whatever else may come to mind. I'm your host, David Mode, and tonight I'm here with...
David Lott.
Derek.
And tonight we are talking Isekai Mythcraft, world building, campaign building, all the good things. World building, setting building, all this good stuff. I've got billions of ideas. What do you guys have?
I have
less than a million
ideas. I have monsters and faction ideas.
You have monsters and factions.
I have a couple of faction ideas. I've got a couple of tropey characters.
No.
Somebody's sound is up.
That's me. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I turned it down already, but it was my headphone I took out.
I
just turned mine off.
Monitoring sound, because that's what you do when you run a stream and you're actively in the
Somebody
stream.
needs to moderate it.
We're tech people.
Yeah, we do our own IT.
Yeah.
Not that we're any good at it.
And, we drink adult beverages while doing it, so that makes it better.
Adult.
Right?
Always. Booze makes everything better.
Well, see, they both get APs. I'm rocking a Miller Lite tonight.
I got Pepsi.
For now.
For now.
There's no whiskey in it yet.
Are you sure?
No.
Oh. I mean, he's already slurring his words.
That's already.
All right.
That's true.
Okay, so
let me go upstairs and grab the rum and drink that one.
So, I have essentially, I've got a little bit on my Google Drive.
Okay.
So essentially, the running name of this campaign / setting right now is we were summoned into the world of Ansera because we are special.
I mean, it might be special as in we're awesome, or special as in special.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad you caught on.
And if that doesn't sound isekai anime enough to you, then
I don't know what to tell you.
yeah.
As you can tell, we've been on an isekai anime trip.
And
we watch way too much.
I've got this set up to where this is full meta knowledge. So full meta knowledge. Like, this is to get new people into Mythcraft.
Okay.
So there's none of this I'm trying to make it to where you can have the book open at the table, all the players, power game, however you want to do this, to get them to know the rules of Mythcraft. Because nobody's going to fucking sit down and read this book, 350 pages worth. I said nobody, excluding this guy.
I'm sure not. I probably look at the pictures.
I'm not even sure if you can read.
I can read just fine.
They've so the PDF is official. It is out. The game has been released in PDF form.
We're just waiting for our books and stuff.
Physical
and
their plushies.
So my goal is to go level 1 or level 2, depending on your MC, to 15. And then your MC can go from 15, or you can just end the game there and start something new where you don't have the meta knowledge at the table, or the meta gaming at the table.
We become gods.
I want the meta gaming at the table for the first play
iteration.
First iteration of new players, so they can understand everything about the game without just being like, oh well, my buddy told me that I could do this, and it's like, well, was that shit in the book?
Right. Especially this is a new game too.
Yes.
I'm glad we're going to have the books there, because then now I'm referencing, and then this
we have access to the material in case we have questions
or we forget.
And that leans hard into the isekai theme. Like, you get summoned into this world, you still have your memories from the old world.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
But no, with it being a brand new TTRPG, there's not a lot out there to help new players learn. So it's going to be a lot of all of us in the community playing the game, going through everything and learning how it works. And hopefully we get a decent community out there of YouTubers and podcasters and different groups that are like, hey, we're here to help. Maybe, a lot of people don't like Reddit, but maybe a Reddit group that's like, hey, these are answers to questions and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of something that we're leaning into with this campaign setting. So
and we're not
everybody
sponsored.
can play with it and go, hey, this is what we've got it there. We've got it. We can all work together and all help each other without some random person at the table. Oh, you wouldn't know that trolls are weak to fire damage or that they heal. As you get with a lot of other tabletop games, because you know what, the whole point of this game is that you do have your meta knowledge.
Yeah, and that's the whole that's the setting. That's the setting. That's the campaign. Is you have meta knowledge. It might be you might get to like level 4, level 5, and you're like, oh, I don't need the book anymore. I understand how to play this game. Just set the books on the floor, keep playing, and it's like, oh, you come up against a fucking wraith or something, and everybody's at the table's like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know what the fuck this is. And somebody's just like over there looking through the book. They're like, radiant damage, y'all. Radiant damage.
What is the skill in most isekais? Appraisal.
Yeah.
I'll say that
I want an item in this game now.
You want
this
an item?
This just came to my head this second.
Okay.
I want a spyglass of appraisal.
Spyglass of appraisal.
I have one better.
No, Derek. We cannot use
No.
what you're thinking
No.
of. We're not going for power level of 3,000.
No.
But it's over
We're
9,000.
not using that.
Yes, you're right. Sorry.
No, I was going to say like a disembodied voice inside your head that tells you what's
what is that?
I've been reincarnated as something.
There's one of the reincarnation ones where the guy has a fucking
Slime.
like
It's the slime.
AI inside of his head that tells him everything about the world.
This slime one.
No, there's another one.
Oh, there's another one.
There's another one where the
vending machine.
no,
sword,
it's the one where
cat, spider.
I'm fairly certain it's the one where the old like the 3,000 years ago fucking king dude
Yeah, okay, I got
or
you.
emperor dude
Yeah.
reincarnates and he actually has his
I got.
companion that was transitioned into a sword, which is now essentially an AI in his head.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
That would be freaking sick too.
That would be nice.
So,
Alert, danger,
Danger. Run away.
That was scary. I don't ever want that to happen again.
We're going to do
you
it.
guys are lovely.
The powers of the D's.
So one of the
There's a problem here.
No.
one of the guilds in the core
Yes.
rulebook.
Wait, the core rulebook has guilds.
It does.
Yes, it does.
One of the guilds that I've already decided to use is Molator.
Okay. What is Molator?
Molator is a guild that has been exiled for their bloodthirsty reputation. They are a guild of assassins.
Oh.
So it said so they're headquartered in Gavaray. But they're let's see, they dwell in Batal, which we're not using the typical Ansera map. I've built a new map for this area. Essentially, this is your reincarnated, summoned into area.
Yeah.
So we have to find one.
This is the area where kingdoms are like, oh, we need some heroes to fight for us. This is where they summon them. The area where this guild is from isn't here, but we're going to use this guild anyway because they're already in the base lore for Ansera. So they operate all across Gathandia, which is the area of the Ansera Mythcraft. All of the lore is built around.
So is that like a continent of
Yes.
Ansera?
Yeah. I haven't named the continent that I have built yet. But I have the continent built.
Yeah.
It's about 2,300 miles wide. So it's smaller than Alaska, but it's almost the size of the continental United States.
Okay.
If you thought Alaska was smaller, you're wrong.
Yeah, Alaska's kind of big.
It's huge. It's huge.
It's also vastly empty space.
yes, it is.
Is it bigger than Texas?
Yes.
So
It is. Yes.
If Texas is part of the continental United States and Alaska's bigger
bigger.
than the continental United
just forgot.
States,
No.
is Alaska bigger than Texas?
I just forgot.
Logic 101.
Well, no, because you're in Texas for 4 hours. You're still in Texas. You drive for 12 hours in Texas. You're still in Texas.
Yeah, but you could drive for like a day in Alaska and still
Yeah,
be in
Alaska.
Alaska. Actually, I take that back. You can't.
you're right
Because there's not
big
roads.
ferries and stuff. Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you have a snowcat, it might take you a week or 3. Yeah. But so yeah, we're gonna use. I'm gonna use Molator.
Okay.
And
So an ass guild.
Yep, an Assassin's Guild. So they're gonna be there. And we're gonna.
Do you already know how much it's going to cost to have somebody ass-assed?
I think it's gonna base it off of who.
Okay.
So like, I want a king assassinated. You're gonna be 100,000 gold.
So do it by noble rank.
Yeah,
Like if it's a commoner, a lot less.
depending on the commoner. Like, so say these people that have been summoned in, they're technically, commoners, but it's gonna take 100 assassins to kill these fuckers.
Well, that's different. They're special.
Yeah, they're special. Just like the name says.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's quite a bit of different guilds.
Okay.
In here. I would like to hear what you guys have. I have questions, but I want to hear what you guys have.
So guilds, first of all.
You go first.
We're already on guilds. Dan says, "Good evening, gentlemen." I'm not. I'm assuming this is Daniel, my coworker.
Okay. Hi, Dan.
If I am correct, let me know.
Nope.
If it is, he's my Care Bear at work. Anyway,
Proceed.
guilds that I want to see. I want to see a couple of different things in it, guild adjacent maybe. But first and foremost, every good isekai has to have an adventuring guild.
There will definitely be an adventuring guild.
Now, for that adventuring guild, one of the things I really like with adventuring guilds, and what makes it an adventuring guild for me, is that they have their own tavern, they have their own rooms, they have their own little area.
So their own title, okay.
Tavern.
Tavern. Pub.
We already have it built. We're good to go on that
Okay.
part. But usually within a guild in an isekai, you can sell body parts and stuff of monsters that you've killed to earn a pay. You also, that's where you get your quests and stuff like that. But I'd really like to be able to we're low on funds. Let's go grind up some gold. Let's go grind some levels, gain some gold to get us into a position to go where we need to go next. And that is what I would essentially have the adventuring guild there for.
Yes.
So hey, there's a mission to go kill the goblins, and you kill the goblins, you get paid for the mission, but you also killed off a couple other random creatures. Let's take the claws of this bird thingy and the snout of this thing to prove we killed it and get a little bit of extra pay out of it. That's something I've tried to put into games that doesn't really work out that well. And yes, it is my Care Bear Daniel that is on. But yeah, so what do you think about that? Having that kind of a guild? Go away, cat.
No. I actually do enjoy. That would be good. It's like a quick cash grab, a good place of rest, good place to find information.
Yep.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So I have a guild hall rank structure set up.
Yeah.
I've got it F through S. F is levels 1 through 3.
Okay.
E 4 through 6. D 7 through 9. C 10 and 11. B 12 and 13. A is level 14. So your character level of 14. S is a minimum of level 14. To get to level S, you have to do something extra.
Some epic bullshit.
Yeah. You can't just be like, oh, I'm level 15 now, so I'm an S rank automatically. It's no, I fucking stopped a war, or I murdered a freaking horde of dragons, or I stopped
The big bad guy.
Leviathans from entering the realm. You know, you've got to do something massive to get to S rank.
So I'm gonna kill a spirit turtle.
You have to
Spirit lion.
You have to do something
No, turtle.
really epic, and I want to leave the epicness up to the DM.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry. The what?
the MC. I want to leave the epic, the S rank up to the MC. I would like to see you be an S rank when you fight the big bad, but maybe your MC is like, maybe you become S rank after you've taken care of the big bad.
Nice.
And that can just set you up for further adventures.
That yeah.
Or happy endings.
I have watched.
Not like that.
I've watched some different animes, and one I watched, you have to pay the guild to
rank
be
up.
a member
Yes.
and rank up. How do you feel about that?
I think that is a good idea because they have to have a fund to continue on with their services. Like, there's got to be some way for them to get paid.
I'm leaning towards the Great Cleric in that instance.
That's the one where he has to pay.
He has to pay the church when he.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's a member of the Clerics Guild, but he's also a member of the Adventurers
Yep.
Guild, so he's got to pay them both,
Yeah.
essentially. Yes.
So he has to pay his yearly dues to stay.
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
no.
the union, Derek.
No, I know. But I think I would rather see maybe a split. Because they're the ones who gave you the contract.
So they're giving you quests.
Well, this, but like, kind of give like a 60-30 or 50-50, depending on the job.
So the way the Great Cleric one runs, I know I'm name dropping an anime. Whatever, sue me, please don't. I don't have any money.
Poor.
It's free advertisement.
So the way that one works, so he pays his yearly dues to the church, to the religious guild, so he can stay a member and he can practice medicine. If he doesn't pay, then he's not allowed to practice medicine. To the adventuring guild, he pays them, and then they pay him to do quests that he never does. That's beside the point. So, you know, he pays them. That includes, I don't know if the room and the food is included in him working there, or if that's included in him being an adventurer.
I believe that is included in, like, that's what he gets for healing them.
Okay, yeah, so
That's
it's
what he
his
gets
job.
for working there. Yes,
Um,
that and his training and whatnot.
so how would you feel about that? So say you, sorry, if you pay your dues to the adventuring guild or the thieves guild or whatever guild you decide to join, so I mean, say Lot's character decides to join the adventuring guild, but Derek's character does not decide to join the adventuring guild. You can still get the quest for the adventuring guild for your party. They won't rank up in the adventuring guild, but say he wants to join the thieves guild, so he'll rank up in the thieves guild. But if you don't join the thieves guild, you won't rank up,
I mean, that makes sense.
and then he can get quests in the thieves guild for your party.
Will there be a bundle option for all this?
I don't
Thieves,
think there would
adventuring,
be.
Cleric,
they're all
barbarian.
separate entities.
They've all got their own hierarchy.
I know. But,
He's being
but they
stingy.
also work together too. I'm also getting options.
I know.
Well, no, so I'm just like throwing out ideas. So
Thanks, I'm
like,
here.
so say the adventuring guild, you know, you get you pay your dues. That gives you a room every night that you want. That gives you food every night if you want, like as long as you're in the guild. Say the thieves guild, you know, maybe they'll replace or repair your thieves tools, or you know, they'll transfer information back and forth between guilds for you. Like, you're not per se going to get a room, you're not going to get food, but, you know, each guild has its own
Benefits.
little benefits that can
I
help
believe
you.
we call those fringe benefits of work.
Yeah.
So like the Thieves Guild, for instance, say you done did something stupid and the guards are looking for you. Well, guess what? The Thieves Guild has connections and, hey, give us a little bit of money, we can grease the wheels, and now they're not looking for you anymore. Because you didn't do anything so bad that you're going to need to answer for it.
Or they've got
Something
hiding
like that.
houses.
Yeah. Stuff like that. I think, and to kind of like balance you don't want to pay, you got an idea of paying a yearly dues kind of thing. I saw one where you had to pay an initial fee to become a member, and then you pay every time you rank up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other caveat I would add with that is that if you do not do jobs for said guild for X amount of time, you lose benefits until you do more jobs. Because they are taking a cut of the jobs. Maybe it's like hey, I wanna give you the 5 silver to get my or 1 copper, whatever, however you're doing money in that. A small price to become a F rank adventurer so I can start doing F rank jobs for you guys. And then as long as I'm continuously, like once a week or once in a while, depending on the jobs, depending on what's going on, every once in a while I'm doing a job, now I can have access to the accommodations, the tavern. I get to eat there, I get to drink there, I get to utilize your guys' pool of information, because you guys are an adventuring guild. You're going to have a lot of information on different creatures and what's going on, so you can have research there. And then, I've done a whole bunch of jobs. I've been there for long enough. I've shown that I'm good. I've reached that level meta knowledge wise. However, in game wise, I've worked with them enough that they're like, hey, you're ready to do this test to become a D rank adventurer. It's this quest. As soon as you complete this quest, you're not going to get paid for it, but all of the value of that quest will go to pay your fee for the upgrade in rank. If you don't want to do the quest and we know you're good enough that we don't have to test you, just pay us X amount of silver and we'll get you that next rank up, so that you have now access to more research, more information, better accommodations, that kind of stuff. And just every time you rank up, you pay an additional fee. Or do a quest for free.
Okay. What are your thoughts, Derek?
Oh, there's a lot of information to take in, but I still like my idea. Let's say yours is not bad. I just think like maybe you still get paid, not the whole full price. Like say like there's a bounty on somebody's head for $100, but you're going to get paid $60 because the guild is taking the extra cut because they're getting the information for you, the person, the wanted posters, and then maybe a room for that night for doing the job. Yada yada yada. Or also kind of like the same way. Pay like I don't know, like I think it was pretty much yours, like a member's fee, but get more of the money, type of thing.
Okay, so like have the option.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, you don't want to be a part of the Adventurers Guild, but you want to do this job for us. That's fine. You're just not going to get the full cut that we would have given you. We're going to take and only give you like, say your cut is 75% of whatever the customer is paying the guild for.
It's pretty much similar.
Now, if you're not going to be a part of the guild, but you're going to do this job for us, we'll pay you 50%, we'll keep 50%, so you get an extra 25% bump in pay if you're part of the guild.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
That too.
So you're trying to go that not monopoly company that delivers a lot of products to different things. So like if you subscribe to it, you get these things on their thing for cheaper, but
It's just an idea.
if you don't subscribe to
I
them,
still
you have to pay more
I still
for
like
it.
my original idea is like, hey, the guild just takes partial money, kind of like a true. Some of the ace guys like some guilds, the one that slays goblins, just goes out and kills goblins and gets a little bit of money.
Well, so my automatic assumption say if you're in a guild, and they're like, hey, we'll pay you 5 copper to do this job, right? They've already taken their cut. Mm-hmm. So the customers come in, hey, I'll pay you 10 copper to find my dog.
Yeah.
And the guild's like, okay, we'll get that done. They're like, hey, adventurer, will you do this job for me? I'll pay you 5 copper for it.
Yeah.
They've already taken their cut. You have no freaking clue what they got paid.
That's fine.
It's just like, doing business at any
it's just like,
any
it's
retailer.
like yeah, the retailer, or you're being a salesperson, or you're selling stuff, selling goods.
The
whatever.
dues is getting you that free room and that free food,
True.
and the lodging. Maybe they've got a healer on staff. Maybe they've got a library.
Then we should do like guilds or different regions have different things. Like one is part of like a guild, and there's one that's not. So the ones that are paid by the guild, they'll get that free room for stuff, and the ones that are not are kind of like the ones I'm thinking about, like different rankings of lodges. I don't know.
I understand what you're going for. I personally don't like it.
No, like it. Okay.
I personally think that's just kind of like it. You're making it too complicated.
No, that's true. Well,
Remember, we are trying to build this for new players.
Yeah.
We are still new players.
Yeah,
That's-
we have yet to officially play this, other than some combat testing.
Yep, that's about it. And we're still learning.
But no, I get where you're going with it. I don't particularly like that idea.
Okay.
I think because when I think guild, I think that you've got to essentially every guild in history that's ever existed has had some form of you pay to play. It's always been a pay to play, and I just don't see it working the way you think in still being an actual guild.
Okay.
But that's just my personal opinion. Like,
No, that's
maybe
fine.
there's somebody out there that has the same idea as you and they build it that way. Hell, you can go build a guild that way and say, hey, David, here's everything I have for this guild. Boom. He's got everything he needs. Okay, that works. We can throw that into the game. But for what you're saying, it's less of a guild, more of a job search.
Yeah. Some quick cash.
Yeah, but that's just like a petty job search thing.
So I've got I'm planning on
Mine's still bigger than yours.
I'm planning
That's
on
what he said.
four guilds. Yeah, that just fell.
You just knocked him
I
off
know.
there?
I'm planning on there's going to be 4 guilds.
Okay.
So there's going to be Molator,
Uh-huh.
which is the Assassin's Guild.
The Ass Guild.
There's going to be the Adventuring Guild. I haven't come up with a name for it. Maybe it's just going to be the Adventuring Guild. Whatever.
I mean, that is a common trope.
Yes.
That is a completely acceptable.
There's going to be a Thieves Guild, which is going to be different from the Assassin's Guild. Like, yes, there's a lot of thieves that are assassins, but not all assassins are thieves.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a Religious Guild.
Okay.
The Religious Guild probably going to have 2 factions. One faction, they're going to be the Cult of the First Heroes. The other faction, I haven't come up with a name yet.
Something else. My vote's for the Cult of the New Heroes, but I haven't sold him on it yet.
So I need a god. I need a god
That's not you.
that is
How about David?
no.
I mean, come on.
I need a god that's going to be
The mysterious D.
What kind of god are you looking for? Are you looking for an omnipotent, all-present, all-knowing, all-creator being?
No.
Or are
I
you looking
want-
for god of this, god of that?
Or a god that does not exist. That people just worship.
so Mythcraft already has lore.
Yes.
I don't want to what's the word? I don't want to water down their
god.
pantheon.
Yeah.
I want a god that's specific to the summoning.
Okay.
Ooh.
So a god of essentially summoning
Like,
from other...
yeah,
realm.
so a god that their entire purpose is, the summoning or the reincarnating of otherworldly beings.
Okay.
Other
okay.
material plane worldly beings.
Yes.
Not astral plane, Feywild, whatever. Those don't exist in Mythcraft. They've got different names.
Different themes, different setups.
Yes.
But yeah, so you want a god essentially responsible for the transitioning of souls from one.
Material plane to
Yes,
this one.
but there's a different word I was thinking. One dimension to the other.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I would build a
Maybe
completely.
call him the god of transference.
I wouldn't even say the god of whatever. Give them a name.
Yeah.
Make them a person. Make them a
Well,
being.
they need a title though, because there's there's Zeus, god of lightning, Poseidon,
But he's not.
the god of water.
But he's not. That's just what he is over.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have Zeus is not the god of lightning. Zeus just happens to be the god of lightning. He doesn't have an actual title as far as I know. But let's pick a name. Let's give him some abilities, some stuff that falls into that transitioning beings from one world to another. I would think that is some sort of balancing thing, some sort of control over living essences.
It's like a mixture of kind of like yin and yang and the scales in Egypt,
Kind of.
but a little bit of something else.
A bit of a judgment thing, a bit of
If any of
a
you guys got ideas, just throw them in the comments.
yeah.
We're
Dan.
open. We're open to suggestions. We're only 3 humans. We could use other humans' perspectives, or if there's a god out there,
I mean, I'm trying to give you the information right now. I kid. But yeah, I would say if we want to put a god in it, what aspects of this god are you looking at? Like what other than just you need somebody to be there to transition.
So
people
I need
over.
a demeanor.
Okay.
I need. I don't care. Male, female, it, they, she. It doesn't matter.
He, she, they, them.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Non-gender.
It doesn't
anything.
matter. They're a god. They can be whatever they want. They can be whatever the MC chooses them to be.
Yeah.
Um.
So their primary purpose is to transition life forms from one world to the other. What's the purpose of that? Is it to keep balance? Is it to save worlds from catastrophe? Is it because they're bored and want entertainment? Because that's going to give you a good idea of the way they are.
I want to say that I want to think that they're a god from another world.
Okay.
And they've just been there for so long they got bored.
Okay.
And they're like, let me go check out this other world. So take for example, say Buddha.
Yeah.
He's bored. He's like, I'm tired of this earth. Let me go check out this other earth. Or this other, world.
Other plane of existence.
Other plane of existence.
Other dimension. Yeah.
Other something.
This other,
yeah. And, but I don't have a good, starting point. I don't have a good run. I'm not trying to use a god that's already in existence.
So if you're going off of okay, this god got bored and went and started observing this other world and then decided to, hey, I'm going to pick these people and throw them in there. Then to me, that's a chaotic being.
Okay.
Getting very Loki vibes from it. So I would do a trickster god. Because that's very tricky. Pulling shit from this dimension and throwing it over here and putting this over there and this over there. Because I'm bored is very trickster-ish.
Well, I was...
In that case, since we're doing an isekai thing, and we're kind of basing this stuff on most of what anime we watch, I think it should be a god. That's it, not like he, she, they, or whatever that wonderful nonsense. Have it kind of like a geeky person at a computer. Pretend it's like a video game. That type of god. They're moving files around. Or they're playing a game at work.
Fucking person in our world playing Sims.
Playing Sims, yes. We are playing SimCity 3.
I think that I think that is hilarious. Every different dimension and world is just some asshole playing a video game.
And if we do have if we do have a picture, it's like, oh, this one's a girl with glasses, or this is a guy in a dress, or it's a they that's in a suit and slick back hair that looks like Men in Black.
So what if I just put in the campaign setting, campaign whatever, God, the summoning transition, reincarnation, MC, look in mirror.
Yes. Yes. I think that you are overthinking it, and that idea right there is perfect.
I love it.
It fits so well with the isekai theme too.
Just in case, if one of us player characters wants to know what is the god, what's the purpose, have them roll. If they get high enough to pass, like a insane amount. Let's just say we're level 15 or level 20 god here, and just have that ability that says, you have a mirror. Look at it from God's perspective, and then the player will show themselves in the mirror that they are indeed a flatling.
Flatlings. It's all the fucking flatlings. Oh, that hurts my soul, but I love it.
Okay,
so that should get past us. I was literally looking online, what would be soul. I'm like, this sounds like a god that's behind a person or a thing or a being that's behind some type of instrument.
well, no, and I like the idea of the god. So I like the idea of the god being the MC. That also sets the tone for the players at the table to realize that their MC is essentially God.
Yes, they are controlling this world.
They control the world. They control the story. They control the narrative. You guys write the story.
Yep. We just say how it goes.
And I like that.
Are you going to write our consequences to our stories that we are telling and writing?
It's the MC's job.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
That's yeah.
We'll get the setting. We'll get the quests. We'll get the outline of, this needs to happen this time. 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 MC, make it happen.
Yeah. So here's all of the open world shit. These are, if you want to follow the story that we are putting out, these are the steps to get there.
Yeah.
But it's
Day
on
69,
you to put it that way.
This
Nice.
happens.
Nice.
Day 275, this happens. There's a 6-month break between this major thing happening, this major thing happening. Have your players
do things
to level up an additional level or whatever within these 6 months of game time. It doesn't have to be a lot. You can literally hand wave and be like, you guys have just done quests for the last 6 months, working on your farm, working on your cooking, working on your background, working on your occupations, blah, 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 blah. Because Mythcraft does do the backgrounds and occupations, which level up to, I think it's 5.
Still not sure how that works, but we'll figure that out.
So that levels,
We'll figure it out.
For every 5 levels, you gain 1 level.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, how do you level it up? Is the MC just you've done this enough, you're now get another
I
level
think it's to force role playing more.
Yeah, no, I just mean
less
I don't
metagame.
understand, because it's not an experience-based thing. There's not a flat experience.
Yeah.
When your character levels up, you get this out of your background.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of MCs out there that don't use the occupations.
Yeah.
And
Sad.
I think that's fine for that table. People that are coming from D&D, for example, are going to be like, occupations, we're going to throw that shit out the window because I don't care that you were a soldier before you're an adventurer. You're now an adventurer.
Yeah.
I don't care if you were a cook before you were an adventurer. You're an adventurer. But it's but I've been cooking meals every night for the last 3 fucking years.
I feel like my skills have improved at this point.
Or I was a soldier before I got kicked out or left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you won't rank up as a soldier without doing soldierly things for a soldierly unit.
And they talk about in their they've talked about in their things, it's you could be the king of a country and just be like, oh, I'm gonna go be an adventurer.
Yes.
You're still gonna have your duties as king,
Yeah.
So that's really heavy onto the MC to be like, hey, you're still the fucking king of this country. You need to like control these 200,000 soldiers you have and these 500 nobles you have. Like, you still need to control that. I'm not leaning heavy into that on the campaign for this setting.
Yeah, that's up to the DM to figure out.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, MC.
The MC. That's up to the MC to figure out. We will give you the base things that need to happen over the course of this. I'm roughly leaning towards this campaign as a 5-year campaign.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Not a 5-year in real life, but a 5-year in game.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'm like,
A 5-year
that's a little too long for all of us.
A 5-year
5-year would be amazing.
in game. Like campaign.
Yeah. So from the
and-
day you get summoned to the day you defeat the big bad evil guy is 5 years.
Approximately 5 years. And
So that means we get our beat episodes.
Mythcraft.
Oh, we will.
And our spots.
Mythcraft leans really
I'm not
heavy.
giving up a name for a spot day, though.
Mythcraft leans really heavy into the campaigns. Don't take 2 weeks.
Yes.
They take years.
Yes.
And I like that. There is a lot of fluff that you have to add to something to make it last that long. But with an isekai campaign, I'm going to lean heavy into the anime setting. It's like, oh, you're whatever. You've been doing training for the last 6 months.
Yes.
We literally skip 6 months ahead.
So cue training montage.
Yeah.
No more 5 episodes of leveling up or trying to become gold person.
Yeah.
Spiky hair.
And honestly, we're gonna leave it open ended for the MC to decide. It's like, hey, like I said, something happens on day 69. Nothing in the story happens until day 275.
Okay.
From day 69 to 275, that is 100% the MC's
Discretion.
Yeah. You can skip it. You can do whatever you want. You can just have them, like I said, throw quests at them from the Adventuring Guild. Maybe do 1 or 2, and then just skip, 6 months ahead or whatever.
Maybe roll some dice just to see how well they did and how much money they made at whatever task they were working.
So this is going to be an isekai. I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you wanting to do more headaches, just in case if the party does split up? Do you want to do like a one-on-one with each person of what they want to do? Like say like me and Lot, we have an argument, we say F each other, we go our separate ways. Do you still want to continue it? Or be with each other or come back at a later date?
So that's going to be on the MC.
Okay.
I'm going to write I keep saying but like this is cumulative.
It's him. We're just pushing him.
I just want to say how far I need to go.
So this is we're going to write the campaign setting and the campaign module.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
God.
I figured out you're gone.
it's
Gosh.
Like I said, this happens this day, this happens this day, this happens this day, this happens this day. Sometime in this stretch of period, you need to make sure your players are aware that this is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is up to your MC's discretion. So if you split the party because you're an asshole, that's on you. That's on your MC. If your MC decides to go, okay, you take off, you do this, blah, 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 whatever, and they have to summon somebody else in to replace you, that's on them.
Okay.
But if you're like, oh, I'm done. You guys suck. This table is garbage, and this game is garbage, and this MC is garbage, and you just walk off into the forest one day and your character leaves, maybe the MC goes, oh, look at that. I got somebody else to add to the big bad's repertoire,
I'm glad I asked that question.
That's on the MC.
Yeah. All right. So outside of all that, because we just went off onto a fucking tangent,
And that's kind of, what happens.
I think we're good with the god of just kind of like it's whatever the MC wants.
Hey, it's also world building, so.
You're right. What other things were you looking at?
Ooh, can I intervene and
Yeah.
go to creatures?
What do you got there?
If you want to go in that thing and pull up the creatures compendium, go to the D's and find Death Knight.
You want a death?
Death Knight.
But my
Somebody's
idea.
been watching Overlord.
Shush.
Overlord was okay.
I like
You
Overlord.
Take that back.
I can't keep up with it. There's
Oh.
too many different like.
It's easy.
I'm over here like, how did we end up?
You never watch Evangelican, whatever they're fucking called. What's up?
Evangelion?
Evangelion, yeah.
Yes, I have.
I can't follow that one.
No, Overlord. If I get distracted, which when I do things, I get distracted, and I miss one scene, I'm like, wait, how did we end up here? I'm so confused.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, Death Knight. What about the Death Knight?
The Death Knight for me, when he pulled it up, if it does come up.
Probably not.
I don't want that as like a big bad. I kind of want that Death Knight in some type of fashion or form to be like kind of like a rogue, like big bad, but not the big bad.
Also, I do plan on there being mini bosses throughout.
So you want to find a Death Knight as a mini boss.
But this not quite, because that one is a level 20.
That just means
Level 20, you're not going to see level 20 in this campaign.
so the monster level 20 is not character level 20.
Oh, okay.
So a monster of level 20, and this is just a little bit of a breakdown for Mythcraft. A level 20 monster is the equivalent of 2 level 20 characters.
Oh, okay.
So if you have 4 level 10 characters, they can go after a level 20 monster if it's just a level 20 monster. In theory, that's the way they structured their thing.
Cool. But how I want it was like this guy, maybe somehow because in there it says that he was a paladin that got changed or whatever.
Yeah, that's what a Death Knight is.
Zealous paladins run the risk of pursuing their goals, however pure, with such blind vigor that they will do anything to see their goals fulfilled. When fiends or exiles take note of a particularly powerful paladin, they might subtly nudge the paladin down a dark path, perhaps offering the paladin a little extra power to violently overcome an obstacle in their path.
And I want that to be like a hunter, like the hunts, the party, some random kings, and also the big bads. So that it's like a chaos of force. It's like a one-stop army. Like it's like one of those creatures that it's like if you don't move out its way or try to find a way to stop it, it's going to kill you or kill whoever.
So you're thinking maybe a level 10 quest?
Probably.
To go in after this thing that's attacking random shit for no particular reason.
Yeah, and don't say like, oh, it's like, don't say like it's a level 10. That they have no information of what it is because it keeps on killing people. It's like it disappears, it shrouds itself well, that type of thing where people just.
You like that particular monster as a potential target for a quest.
Yes, maybe target for a quest, or that's something that just like it surprises
Yeah, you're walking down the forest, all of a sudden a Death Knight shows up.
Yeah, or like we get summoned, and somehow the summoning goes like arise, and then we appear in front of it. Kind of a douche move, but hey, it's world building.
I wouldn't do that as an MC. Don't force your characters into a conflict.
Not really like
As a character.
Yes.
As a character, I know you. If your MCDM individual in charge of your table goes, oh, by the way, no matter what you do, you just appeared against this big bad thing, roll initiative, and you're going to fight it, you're going to get pissed because they just took over all of your character discretion.
He will get up and walk away.
He will. I've seen it.
No,
Don't argue.
You haven't seen it.
Oh, you're right. We were on Discord.
Have you ever played Monopoly with this guy?
That. No. I wouldn't force your characters to fight this, but I would give it as an option.
Yeah, or like a funny thing.
I think as a level 10 quest or a C rank quest, a Death Knight would be good. And I mean it could be placed into the Adventuring Guild as, hey, there's this dark creature that has been attacking different villages, but not killing all of the residents, but going after like nobles or something, and or going after different guild members or whatever. We've put this quest out. It pays X amount of silver coin
Or gold.
They don't do
They don't
gold.
I don't do gold. That's right.
So it pays X amount of silver. Would you guys be willing to take this quest on?
Yeah.
And that's good. I need a lot of quest ideas because there's a lot of quests.
There's been a lot of quests.
Don't worry, I got you, boo boo.
Whether the adventuring party takes on all of these quests, that's another thing. I think I'm gonna build a table per rank structure F E D C B A. And it's like roll on the table. These are the 3 quests that are available, or whatever.
Do you want a D100 table or do you want a D20 table?
I think a D20 table would be simpler. I know a D100 table is like more fun.
I'm just saying, I can make you a D100 table of quests.
Well,
That would be fun.
We're not trying to Skyrim this thing.
So I have a.
Well, no, I just think it would be fun to be able to hey, there's a vast
Yes,
opportunity of quests.
I have a
That's true.
D20 table for when
certain things happen.
No.
already.
No, when we get summoned.
when you
Oh.
get summoned into the world. I already have a D20 encounter table.
Oh, okay. That's spawn in front of it. A dark thing.
So the D20 table that I have for when you first get summoned, there's an axe handle hound, a black bear, a bobcat, a dire centipede, a leafing florin, mossy cobbler, a random stranger, nothing happens, military squad passes, nothing happens, religious cult passes, a peregrine falcon, a screech owl, a chromatic slime, a spore bat, a swarm of insects, 2 wolf, or a dire worker ant.
These are all the things that could be in front of us.
Those are
when we
all
get summoned.
level 1 creatures. And
good.
your party should easily be able to defeat any of those encounters.
Are we gonna be summoned with weapons?
So that's another question.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say like.
So the way I was picturing it is, so you talk to this god as you're being summoned. Like it's like you've been summoned, you're like halfway through, and the god's like, "Hey guys, you're being summoned into the world of Ansera. It's ran by the rules of Mythcraft. You're going to be summoned as what you choose. So it's like, oh, I choose to be a fucking golem. Okay. And here's your stat card. You are now a golem.
And the more I think about this, I think the guy behind the Sims, is going to be a great option. That's going to be character creation and 5 hours of making your person.
I want a written description. As you appear in a dark room, there is an individual sitting behind a box that is projecting a screen, a picture, a light, and they've got long, unkempt hair. He pushes up his glasses and looks over. Welcome. You are being summoned to Ansera. Run by the rules of Mythcraft. Let's create your character.
There's a hologram, and it's like, oh yeah, I like that. Oh, make his hair a little bit longer. Pierce his left ear. Can you make his penis a little bit?
I think that would be phenomenal. I think that would be
great.
hilarious.
We should do it. We all describe our characters right then and there.
This is up to the MC. 100%.
Yes. Best of luck to you.
Especially with us two.
I will not be choosing penis size in this thing. That is not okay. I'm not comfortable with it, but that is hilarious.
Please let me do it.
Anyway.
Make him uncomfortable.
Please don't.
So we don't have to go into it, but I do need quest ideas.
Yep.
What else do you guys have?
Okay, go.
I've got a couple of trope things that I see in a lot of isekais that I
Okay.
really want to experience in this. And this is going to give you some stuff for...
Trope spelled with a U.
Yes.
I have no
Is
fucking
it
clue.
Troupes?
I think so. Either way, this I'm thinking will help us with some
Gross.
NPCs, with some
No.
quests, with some different things like that. So one of the big things that I see in almost every single isekai is there is a leveling area So,
like
you're summoned
XRP.
into this world. The woods that we actually get summoned to are, a whole bunch of lower level monsters so that we can run out there and grind out some levels, grind out some XP, practice our skills to continue because there's going to need to be some practice training areas, stuff like that. So that'll give you, you can build this area with these kind of monsters are what spawn here. And you can literally do it like hey, they just magically fucking spawn because that's the way this is. Or you can do it like this is just what's natural to the area. And that'll give you, hey, I as a random quest from the Adventuring Guild, because we can sell the ears or the scalps of a coyote, because that's a real thing. I want you to go out there and get me kill 10 coyotes and get the scalps from them. Take them back. We'll buy them from you for X amount of price. There's your quest.
Nice.
That kind of stuff. For some NPC stuff, arrogant nobles. Arrogant nobles that, there's always that one noble that's like, I hate these stupid beings that we summoned because they're going to get more power and then I'm going to look bad because I don't have as much power as them, so I want to take them out. I want to screw them over at every turn I can. That gives you can make a couple of nobles like that. Maybe there's a faction of nobles that don't like you, don't like us because we're summoned here and now they're not going to be as powerful as they were because there's a new power structure here and we want to keep our power, so we're going to go after you.
Cult of the First Heroes.
Well, not just the cult though. You could have nobles that aren't even involved in the religious portion of it that are just like, no, we don't like anybody stepping on our playground. This is our playground. And we're going to bully you because you're new and we don't like you.
Okay.
And then another thing, bullshit random funny monsters that don't make sense in this area. We're walking in a forest. All of a sudden there's a goddamn polar bear. Why is there a polar bear in a forest? Because there is.
There's a polar bear shit in the woods.
No, he shits on the tundra.
Okay.
But yeah, I think little things like that, little kind of like gag things, little jokes, little funny things in there would be fun.
Yeah, make us a little silly.
You gotta have the stupid arrogant noble that looks like a pockmarked pizza face fat guy
With a bowl cut.
with the bowl cut. You gotta have him. It's gonna happen.
Actually, better yet, bowl cut with undershaved.
Undershaved bowl cut.
Undershaved bowl cut.
You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm referring to. And make him a perv. Because he's always a perv.
Well, that makes a pair of that. Okay. Like
He's always a perv.
Yeah, that's true. They're all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That noble is always a
Yes.
perv.
Yeah.
I think that would be hilarious and fun.
Smack him around.
Okay.
Oh, I can. Also, East Coast fashion. Can we hit somebody on the top of the head, have a big bulge coming out of their head, but no damage?
Derek's being dumb. I'm gonna
No,
give
come
him
on.
a
We're
bomb.
trying. It's supposed to be like.
And all of a sudden,
it's comedy. It's like it's stupid comedy. It's copying.
I think we leave that up to DM discretion.
yeah, I
well,
think that's
yes.
going to be the MC.
But that's funny.
But that's
I like
funny.
that.
Like comedy. Come on, we need a little bit of comedy in this little horror we're about to have here.
I mean, we have you. There's plenty of comedy.
Well, yes, but that's
So
what
this
comedy
is-
was this horror.
This is a setting in campaign.
We're not
Yes.
looking at that. We're looking at just building the area, just building world building stuff.
Well,
Not
that's world building.
that's not world building.
No,
Yes,
that's it's not.
It's not world building.
Okay, I
We're
thought it
we're
was.
looking at world building. What world building encompasses is different quests, different environments, NPCs, factions,
Skills, yes.
kingdoms, what the environment looks like, what you have in the environment, interesting things, how was it created, that kind of stuff. Not the little, oh yeah, I want to bunk somebody on the
Yeah.
head and have whoop, whoop, whoop go on.
I don't know. Tease their own,
It's
I
not
guess.
part of the world. That's just a separate thing that you can do because it's
That'll
fun.
be on the MC. Anything like that. And I'll do set NPCs Like, I'm definitely doing the guild Pokemon style.
Okay.
All of the people that are going to be working at the guild are going to be identical at every single guild.
Fuck
Do
yeah.
not care.
It's
Like,
the same name and
It's the
everything.
same name. You're getting Nurse
Jenny.
Moy. You're getting Nurse Moy. You're getting the same person and everything, but they're going to be a slightly different. It's like, oh, this one has a heart-shaped pendant. Oh, this one has a star-shaped pendant. Oh, this one has a shooting star-shaped pendant. Kind of
That's
thing.
good.
I'm gonna call them by their pendants then.
And that's fine. And
Not bad, yeah.
the reason I want to do that is so it limits the MC having to, at this tavern, it's, let me go through my 250 pages of notes. It's like, oh, this is Maria, Oh, this is Jake. Oh, this is
Johnny.
Johnny or Barnathan or whatever,
Jarnathan.
Bernard.
Bernard.
You walk into the guild anywhere in this
The world.
world or this continent,
I like
and
that.
it is identical to the last one you entered, down to the broken floorboard underneath the third table, second to the wall.
Hey, this is recorded. That's gonna happen.
I was saying, I'm like, okay, that's
Um,
good. How many areas are we having?
so I'm gonna do 2 countries.
Okay.
There's going to be on the continent. There's 1, 2. I think there's 15 countries
Okay.
on the continent, but I'm gonna lean heavy into 2 of them.
Okay.
And I don't want to give any names out for them until
Let's
it's
start playing.
getting
Yeah,
closer
that's
to
fine.
being released. But so we're gonna lean heavy into 2 countries, and if the MC decides to do other things in other countries, it's like, oh hey, they're level 9, they've completely checked this entire country out. We'll have them go check out this country for this quest or whatever. I want to open end the quests. So it's like they need to go out and defeat this ogre that has been rampaging through the eastern lands or whatever. The MC can go, oh, eastern lands, that doesn't have to be in this area. That can be over here.
You don't even have to put in the Eastern Lands. You can just say, defeat ogre rampaging in area.
Yeah.
Pick an area that you want your players to go to. Here you go.
Royalty. I need royalty.
Yes. Are we looking... Do you want a standard, basic, not very complicated, or do you want marquises and marches and this and that and the others?
So I
Do you
think
want viscounts? Do you want counts, viscounts,
Electric
barons?
counts.
I think king, queen, royal family in the capital cities. So I need 2 sets.
Okay, so do you want the characters that will make up said royal family?
Yes.
Okay.
And possibly maybe a couple of barons.
Okay.
That you might come across, but you might not.
Okay. So you're asking not to build a royal or a noble structure, but you're asking to give you a couple of NPCs of royalty.
Yes.
Okay. How are you trying to do the 2 kingdoms? Do you want them to be mirrors of each other? Do you want them to both be good, evil? Do you want them to one be good, one be bad? How do you want to do that?
I say
Okay, so
one should be. Sorry, I'm just going to say it right now. So I think in my mind, one should be like the religion, and then one be militaristic.
Well,
Because then it's polar opposite.
yes. However, if a place is run by a religion, it is no longer a kingdom. It is not run by a king. It is a theocracy.
So both of the places that this is going to be happening in
Uh-huh.
are empires. So
Okay.
they will both be emperors
Yes.
instead of kings. But whatever.
So my
Fish
question is more along the lines of, do you want the empires to feel similar, or do you want them to feel one is good, one is bad? Because an empire is going to match the personality of the emperor.
So, the starting area is going to be more Middle Ages
Okay.
setting. Like, the other area, I feel, should be more. Have you seen Arcane?
Yes.
I feel like it'll be more Arcane.
Okay.
So they've got airships.
Yes.
They've got technology, but not like cell phone technology. But they have like
More-
they have flights. They
More
have
steampunk.
yeah.
But that doesn't answer my
Um,
question. Is one more controlling than the other or not? What level of control do you want them to have? That kind of stuff.
So I don't.
Because this is something you have to have answered before you can create an emperor, because that emperor is going to very specifically dictate how that kingdom operates. For the starting area, my suggestion would be a lot more lackadaisical, a lot more free, a lot more open, because that gives the players and everything an opportunity to explore a lot more.
Yeah. So the starting country. I was thinking, so the emperor, the king, whatever, is kind of nonchalant, very not there for day to day.
Okay.
He kind of collects his taxes,
Doesn't
chills
say-
in his kingdom,
doesn't care.
doesn't give two shits, lets his barons rule the land.
Now,
Has 20 wives,
here's the question.
200 kids.
Is he doing that because he's lazy? Is he doing that because he thinks his people
Peace.
are fine? He wants peace.
He's
So
done
he's
it because
friendly.
he's done it because it's been peaceful for 200 years.
Okay, so he's friendly.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a friendly, non-controlling, nonchalant, down to earth.
Yeah.
So a friendly, down to earth emperor. Does he respect everybody's freedoms, or does he look at somebody and go, "I like them. I want them to be in my harem.
So
Bring them to me."
he
Or is it a she?
no, so the starting area it's a he.
Okay.
He doesn't really he doesn't care about day-to-day activities, but if somebody catches his eye, he will not take them, but they will
Strongly suggested to join him?
yeah.
Okay. So he utilizes his influence to get what he wants without blatantly forcing it.
No, he'll straight up force it. He'll send out the royal army to bring somebody to him.
Okay, so he will kidnap somebody, but he'll give them the option to choose it first.
Yeah, he'll send
Okay.
him a letter.
Okay, so
Like,
he's not friendly.
I need you to
He
come to my
seems
kingdom.
friendly.
Yeah.
He could be both. He could be friendly and.
I mean, I don't want to. I mean, he's not.
Well,
I'm
that-
not saying he's going to be rude.
Yeah.
I'm saying, is he a friendly person? Or is that friendliness and that down-to-earthness more of a front
So-
because he'll still utilize his influence
I
to
think
get his
he's
pleasure?
friendly, but he's a collector,
Okay.
and he collects power.
So he's friendly and down-to-earth until he needs to not be to get what he wants.
Yeah.
Okay. So, collects powerful individuals.
And things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why does he collect powerful things?
I think it's honestly just for him to feel safe.
Okay. So he's collecting powerful things for the safety of himself and his kingdom. So he's not doing it for a bad reason, but he's still going about it the wrong way. Okay. So he collects power for protection of him and his. So the part with all that is that he's gonna let the characters do as they please for the most part until it gets to the point where he's like, oh wait, I want them on my side.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be mine. And then he can still be super friendly and careful and caring and stuff and be like, hey, you know, I will give you the world if you serve me. You only have to be at my call if I need you. You can still live your life. However, when it comes down to it, you must swear to come and look out for me and my kingdom. And then the players say no or yes. And this is something that's going to build into the story. Do your characters want to abide by that and go by that, or do they want to buck the system because, well, he might be friendly, but I don't like having to serve somebody. Okay, they choose path A or path B. Path A just turns it into a, well, now he's going to try to force you. Now you got to fight off the kingdom.
Yeah.
Now you have a whole nother subplot going on. Or yeah, they do it. Well, now because they're servants of the king or emperor or whatever, now they have the backing of the kingdom. They are now nobles. They now get away with more. There's benefits to both sides.
Yeah. We have never done this on Table Talk and Drinks, but we're going to take a break.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, welcome back to Table Talk and Drinks. If you've missed the first half of the show, we'll go back and watch it because it's good.
Yeah.
All right, so we're talking about the empire that you start in. We can give the name. I think we can give the name.
I think it's okay to give the name.
So it's the Elysian Empire. The emperor obviously is going to be Emperor Elysian.
How do I spell Elysian again?
Olisian.
Okay.
And how you pronounce that first name?
Theodosius.
Theodosius.
So if you're building worlds, Fantasy Name Generator is
Fantastic.
an amazing resource for coming up with names if you have a hard time coming up with
Theodosius Elysian is the emperor.
names. Now, so what have we determined already? Theodosius is a mostly friendly.
He's very
Mostly
relaxed.
friendly. Relaxed until he
Needs you.
until he determines that you've got power or you've got something that's powerful that he wants.
Yes.
I believe he's going to be a Katek, which is a cat person.
So he's mostly friendly and relaxed until he decides he wants something.
And that
And
sounds like a cat person to me.
yeah, I don't care until I don't care about you until I want you to pet me, and then I'm gonna bite you for petting me. So hold on, I got it right. So one thing with that,
I kind of
Is
want to make the other emperor Hondu.
I mean, we can totally do that. We'll come up with the other emperor here in a minute. Katek, so I don't forget. So he's friendly and relaxed until he wants something. When he wants something, if it's not given freely, it will be taken. So he can be vindictive and vengeful.
Yeah.
So with that, that makes me think that maybe this kingdom has a secret police.
A secret police.
Spying out
No.
things of power.
Like,
Not necessarily police, but a secret force, a secret order, looking for powerful things for the emperor because he wants them. And then when they have something,
like
they do what they need to do to get it.
kind of like the agencies that we have, like intelligence operatives.
Yes. Secret police.
Not really secret
So-
police.
Well, just because we know doesn't
Right.
mean everybody knows. But
I-
let's not get into that because I don't want to be on another
But
list.
it's not like,
I believe-
think agents would be for intelligence bureau.
I don't remember the anime I watched, but I think that the guilds all send a report to the kingdom every month about all of their adventurers, all of their doings and their ongoings,
Their comings and their goings.
their comings and their goings.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, hey, this adventurer just came in with this sort of Eridath, and this sort of Eridath has been missing for 200 years. It belonged to the first heroes.
Boom.
And the king's like, oh,
Oh, really?
really? So I think, and I mean, I don't want to go too deep into that in the campaign setting, but, you know, it could just be like, hey, you know, just a note in there, all of the guilds, it doesn't matter if it's the Molitor, the Adventuring Guild, the Thieves Guild, or the Religious Guild, they all send a report to the kingdom.
Okay. So all guilds report to the king.
All guilds report to the king.
Now that also goes into all guilds are allowed to operate by the king.
Yes.
He allows the Assassin's Guild to be the Assassin's Guild because they provide something to him that he wants.
Yes.
So there is no war in Ba Sing Se. Now, with that being said, do the commoners know that? Does the average populace know that?
I
Or
think
does the average populace just think everything's hunky dory?
I think the population knows that the guilds report to the emperor, but they just don't talk about it.
Okay, so there's no word.
No word.
There's
Bossing
no
say,
word
bossing
bossing say.
And that you just built an entire empire
Yep.
right then and there.
And so let's go into the other empire that will be noted in this campaign,
Okay.
in this setting.
There is no war.
There
And
is no word.
it's the Toyararian.
That is so. Yeah.
Toy,
We can change.
Toyararian. Toyararian Empire.
Tororarian. I like that. So what?
I think this king emperor is more strict.
Okay.
This emperor has a military presence in every town, whether it's 50 people or 50,000.
There is royal guards at every town. So he's strict and militaristic.
I think it's a very strict country. It is 100% rules as written.
Raw.
And if you are found to be disobeying of the rules, you will be brought before the emperor, and depending on the charge.
So the emperor handles all significant legal matters.
Yes.
He makes all decisions. So
Judge, jury, executioner.
he makes all decisions.
What do you think, Doug?
Well, I was thinking, like, well, maybe this one's more strict. Maybe he doesn't want to. Well, no, since he's more strict, yeah, no, I was going to say, like, why not have a jury and then have that jury do it on the behalf of the empire? The half of the empire. But,
Because he wants to say
but,
everything.
but since it's more militarized, he's more strict, I'm like, never mind.
Okay.
I'm going to waive that.
Now, I like where you're going with that. But instead of a jury or anything like that, the emperor does the major decisions. He has also put in place he has personally handpicked every general who is in charge of every area.
Yeah.
That general, who has been specifically chosen by the emperor with strict instruction of what to punish with what rules and what ways, well, that general handles all the things that up to the general level. That general must handpick his subordinate officers, and those subordinate officers handle the lesser crimes in their areas. And if it's something that the officer isn't allowed to determine, I'm going to call him a lieutenant because I like that idea. So if the lieutenant isn't allowed to make that decision by code, then that goes to the general. If the general's not allowed to make that decision by code, it goes to the emperor.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Because one man can't
I like
make
that.
every ruling.
No, and yes. So I was, so things like theft, are dealt at the local level.
Misdemeanor.
Yeah, hands are cut off.
Okay.
Things like murder are dealt at the
Regional.
the district, the regional
Yeah.
area.
Okay.
Things like conspiracy for treason
Go to
go to the king.
Okay. So what would you call the emperor's subordinates? The ones that are in charge of the whole town?
So I think there still needs to be a noble faction, whether there's like barons or viscounts or local mayors or something.
So what I was thinking is that instead of using a noble rank structure, using a military rank structure to give the feeling of the militaristic environment.
Okay.
So this person is a lieutenant. That is their rank within the kingdom.
Okay, so lieutenant over a town.
Mm-hmm.
general over
District.
district, and then king or emperor over the empire.
Exactly. But you don't have to go with lieutenant. You could go with captain. You could go with major, general, emperor, or whatever. However you want to do it, because you can also use the lieutenants as the quote unquote leaders of the guard, the leaders of this group of military.
I think we just run with like sergeants. They run like the day-to-day activities.
Okay.
Lieutenant runs the week-to-week activities. General runs the month-to-month.
Okay.
Emperor runs the year.
So we got the emperor, simple rank structure: emperor, general, lieutenant, and then the lieutenant's in charge of all the sergeants of that town.
Yeah, and I think a lieutenant possibly will run like 3 or 4 towns.
Okay.
And that would limit the having to have a lieutenant at 275 towns kind of thing. So it's like one lieutenant runs this area, general runs this area, emperor runs this area.
Okay.
And like I said, the day-to-day activities. So the main town is ran by the sergeant, who is sheriff.
Yeah. Operates as a sheriff, but his title is sergeant.
Yeah.
Now, I have another question for you regarding all this. Can a sergeant become a lieutenant?
Yes.
Okay, how hard is it? Is it a promotion thing, or you do a deed that, like, now I'm making you a noble. You are now a lieutenant.
So I'd like to think that this place is a sort of democracy.
Okay.
The sergeant is elected by the town.
Okay.
And after X amount of years in service, they can be promoted to a lieutenant by the general.
Okay.
And then same thing from lieutenant to general. Generals are handpicked by the emperor.
So everything above sergeant is an appointment by your superior.
Yes. And that way the populace isn't too
Involved?
No, the populace isn't too scared, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, we chose our sheriff. Our sheriff dictates our town. If he's a hard ass, that's on us. We chose him.
Yeah. That also goes with they can't get too mad at the lieutenants, because all of the lieutenants at one point in time were elected to be a sergeant.
We're chosen by the people. And I honestly think that the emperor is the same way.
Okay.
The emperor chooses his replacement based on his generals.
Okay. So the emperor elects who the next emperor will be through his generals.
Yes.
So Rome during the empire.
Yeah. And that way, it is a sort of democracy.
It's still
at the
militaristic. It's still
very
controlled.
base level. It's a democracy. And I don't know what you would call that at the top level, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's an empire.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's very controlling. He's very rules as written. He's very domineering.
I mean, yeah, I think he rules with a heavy hand.
Okay, so he's very domineering.
Yeah.
If you do not do as I say, you will no longer be there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty good basis for a, hey, this is your NPC. Run him how you are comfortable running him. Mm-hmm. Leave that up to the table.
Yeah, because I don't want to force somebody to play something out of their comfort zone, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. We're comfortable with this because we have experience with that kind of personality. Somebody else that might not be as familiar with that kind of domineering, strict environment isn't going to be able to run it that well and still be able to effectively run the game and be okay.
What are your ideas over there, Derek?
No, you guys are perfect then. But I was thinking, like, we want to skip ahead. We're done with the second one. what's the relationship between these two? Do they share a border?
Wait, real quick before we get into that, do you want to get a name for this person?
Yeah, I
Oh,
want to
name.
get a name for him.
Okay, what kind of name are we thinking?
I'm thinking Egyptian.
Okay. Egyptian. All right, where
And
is
this
it?
area is the steampunky area.
Okay.
Okay. So we need to
This is
All right.
airshipy area. They've got technology, but not super.
Advanced.
Like they're advanced. They're more advanced than the Elysian Empire.
Yes, they're steampunky, but not. Do they have guns?
I think they would have a form of gun.
Okay, is this a colonial era flintlock rifle?
I'm thinking muskets.
Okay.
One shot takes 3-4 rounds to reload, kind of thing. I'll have to not 3-4 rounds, but like a round to reload, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Do any of those names look good to you? If not, just hit that.
Rotometi, Philanos, Pet Ibar. I was kind of leaning towards this empire, the current.
Oh, he is a
emperor
Hondu.
to be a Hondu,
I've already
and I
decided
think
because you
Pet
said that.
Ibar would be
Okay. So it is. He's a Hondu, and his name is Petabar.
Pet Ibar.
Petabar Terrarian. The Hondu military commander of the Terrarian Empire.
And
I got one thing real quick.
yeah,
If the empire or if the emperor is chosen from the generals, do they, as part of the Terrarian Empire and becoming the emperor, do you have to change your last name
Yes,
to
you did.
Terrarian? So he was not originally a
he
Terrarian.
was not originally a Terrarian.
Good to know. So that's his name. Now, on to Derek's question. What is the relationship between the two kingdoms?
I think the Terrarian Empire looks down on the Elysian Empire
Okay.
because the Elysian Empire is set in their ways and they do not want to advance.
Okay, so that comes back to the Elysian Empire. They are traditionalists.
Yeah. And that is very, very like power drops to sun, to
Yes.
sun, to sun.
It is hereditary rule.
Yeah.
Okay. So the T Empire
The T Empire.
looks down on the O. Now,
Do they share a border?
Yes, they're right next to each other.
do they fight over territory?
I don't know if they fight over territory, but
I will have to say they share a border. And
Oh, they don't. They're not in open conflict currently.
no, they're not
Okay.
in open conflict currently.
Okay, so with most, historically speaking, most empires and stuff like that, there's going to be border skirmishes. Like, that's just gonna happen. Is that happening?
Yes. Hence, in that table,
So there's no open conflict, but there are border skirmishes.
border skirmishes. What was your question, Derek?
no, David got it.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
This is something I thoroughly enjoy doing, so if I get a little overzealous and overbearing, just say so. I don't mean to.
All this bonky on the head, so you
Please don't. I've been hitting the head enough.
and
I
it's
know.
not just the emperor in the Taurarian Empire that looks down on the Elysian Empire.
So
It
the
is the
entire
people.
yeah, the entirety of the empire.
The entirety of the empire. So it is very like you won't generally see a Taurarian Empire citizen and an Elysian citizen married or together.
Okay.
Or even friends.
or even friends. It doesn't matter if they live across the road from each other.
So they both look down on each other. One because the other is set in their ways and doesn't want to advance. And hey, we've got better advancements. We're smarter than you. We're better than you. The other one looks down on the other because, well, you don't hold to your traditions
Yes.
and you're not. You don't have the same level of culture as we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we follow our cultural traditions. And
I
you
do
don't.
think the Elysian Empire would probably lean more religious than the Torarian Empire will.
That tracks.
The Torarian Empire, not saying that religion is not
A part of it.
a part of it. Like, religion is heavy all over. But they don't...
Let the
that's not-
religion determine
Yeah.
their life.
Okay. And literally on the border, you can see a hut, and some little fine little houses on the Elysian Empire, and then across the road, you've got freaking airships, and you've got people walking
very
around.
very drastic border.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You've got mechs walking around, not mechs, but maybe you've got more of the what are they called?
What?
Derek, help me out here. What are they called? You've got
Airships?
more. No, remnants walking
Remnants.
around.
Yes.
You've got more remnants walking around on the Torarian side, and very few remnants in the Elysian Empire.
That's fair. Maybe the remnants all come from the Terrarian
Maybe.
Empire.
So, both these empires, and this is coming to mind, are they gonna have like kind of like mixed races with different civilians?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Or are it all gonna be like one's dwarf, one's catet?
Nope. I think it's all mixed. Just primarily so say I'm thinking golems are probably more on the Elysian side.
Okay.
Remnants are more on the Torarian side. Not saying that they're not on both sides, but there's
that's more
more
common.
of each.
Okay.
But so here's the question, and I think this is what Derek was getting at. You can see it's not uncommon to see any particular race in any of these areas.
Yes.
Okay, so you can play anything you want without worry of being racially profiled.
Yes. There's
Okay.
no. Yeah.
Racism doesn't exist here. We're not playing that game.
If you play an undead or what is the other one? It's not the Radine, or Fiend Blood. You might get a couple looks coming your way
But that makes sense.
based on what you are. An undead or a Fiend Blood. Like, Fiend Blood is like demonic, and undead is fucking undead.
Yeah.
You might get a couple of looks in town because you are probably like, if remnants are like a 1 in 20, an undead is like a 1 in 100.
Yeah.
Like,
It is very uncommon to see undead just walking around.
and same thing with Fiend Bloods.
Yeah.
If you have an entire party of Fiend Bloods, hey, you just changed the fucking statistics of both empires.
Now I've got another question for you. Do they trade with each other?
Yes.
Okay, so they do have an open trade relationship.
I think
Do the governments do the trade, or do the people do the trade?
I think the people do the trade.
Okay, so it's a free and open trade relationship.
It is a free and open trade relation. I think the Elysian Empire probably leans more towards agriculture.
Okay. With that being said, I would say the Terrarian, or whatever we're calling
Torarian?
it now. Torarian.
Torarian? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll pick something. We'll stick with it. The Terrarian Empire is probably the ones that provide the.
Like metals?
I wouldn't say metals specifically, because metals can be harvested anywhere, but the advancements. The engineering kind of stuff. What do you think about that?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me open this up because I've got the map on here.
You're good.
just hit me. I put down the bricks.
Oh, I mean, this is probably the longest episode we've ever ran.
Yeah, for Table Talk and Drinks, we generally run right at an hour. We're an hour and 44 minutes in. We'll cut it
Ooh,
here
doggy.
soon. You know, I think the Terrarian Empire, yeah, they could be, you know, the engineering. I mean, I don't want to say science.
No, well,
'Cause,
that's.
like, I
I'm
don't
not
want-
trying to say science. I'm talking like they manufacture the more complicated items required for life.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
So that's why I went with engineering. But like, I get what you're saying. So they're the manufacturers.
Yeah.
So North and South U.S. Civil War era.
Yeah.
Slash with the steampunk vibe.
Well, no, I'm just defining the trade relationship where
Gotcha.
the South grows all the food and all the raw materials, where the North was actually turning those raw materials into products.
That's true. Okay.
So the Elysian Empire is the agricultural and raw harvesting minerals and stuff like that, where the Terrarian Empire is the manufacturers.
And the airships do not cross the border.
Okay.
They are banned from the
Okay.
Elysian Empire.
Okay.
You won't see guns in the Elysian Empire.
Is that via ban or via cultural traditions?
You know, I'd like to say a ban, but I think it's probably more cultural. People are just like, that's not.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Japan era type thing. Of the,
Well, no, in the Japan era, prior to the industrialization of Japan, it was flat out banned by the emperor.
yeah, that's
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, you might come across a gun every once in a while.
But the people don't like it.
No,
So
they are definitely
advanced technology is frowned upon, so it's not going to be seen as often.
Yes.
Okay.
I have to go let Marissa's dogs out. If I put him in the kennel, he's gonna cry. Will that ruin?
You're fine.
Okay. What else we got for these empires? What other questions do we have? I think that really defines the relationship between them as much as we want to
Yeah.
allow the MC the freedom to play as they see fit.
I think that's.
I mean,
good.
that's some significant
Yeah.
world building right there.
That was really significant.
Derek's over here about
got
to
anything
leak
else
his
to
brain
say
out of
there,
this
Derek?
thing.
Huh?
Do you have anything else to say?
Um.
Anything you want to leave us with?
I think the next time we come back, we should do if there's any like rogue
Faction?
factions in these two kingdoms.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So-
like a faction that runs in both kingdoms
Yeah.
without any consent of the emperors.
Like spying on both, selling information on both. type
Okay.
deal.
That makes sense.
I think that could be Molitor, just kind of just
Playing both sides of the
uh-huh.
fence.
But,
But both
And-
emperors allow it because they both utilize them.
So
but they both don't know.
I have it
What's
written
going
down.
on?
So
I think they would know though.
in the Elysian
Sure.
Empire, all guilds report to the King Empire. Empire.
Mhm.
In the Terrarian Empire, the guilds just run.
Okay, so the guilds run free.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There's no like main control other than like the Emperor going, "Hey, I have this quest. Put it out to the Adventuring Guild."
Okay.
Um,
So with that empire being so controlling over everything, why do the guilds get to run free?
probably money.
Okay. So they pay?
Yeah,
Okay.
And the other ones is more control.
money talks.
Always a price.
Even in control.
Yeah. I mean, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
It has a price.
All right, so let's I'm assuming we want to kind of tie it up for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get a couple of things that we all should think of to help build this. So Derek had a good point. What kind of factions operate independently or unknown or with both functions? So let's call free range factions. If there's any kind of free range factions. Is there any other kind of topics that we should look into and think about for another time that we decide to do this?
Mm-hmm. David?
Well, no, I'm asking you.
Oh, me?
Yeah, is there anything else you think like, hey, let's touch on these subjects?
No, not right now, actually. It's just that big one.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll come up with some other stuff, but I can't think of anything right now. I'm kind of tapped out for the moment.
All right.
I'm sure we'll talk.
Yep.
Let's leave. We always bring something to the table to talk about a little bit. We're not sponsored by anybody. Today we've got the Book of Random Tables by Matt Davids.
Found on Amazon. It's literally a book of random tables. There's tables for everything.
So many random tables.
It's literally all random tables.
If you're interested,
it's very useful for when you're trying to prep a session or prep a world or something like that, and you're stuck and you're like, well, I need to build this thing, but I don't know what to do it with or how to do it. There's an idea. Boom. It's an idea giver.
Sly Flourishes, the Lazy DM's workbook. This one is for 5e. It has some maps in here,
So, the Lazy DM's workbook, and the idea of a Lazy DM is it breaks things down into a simple way where you don't have to spend hours prepping. I have yet to actually be able to go through it all and actually use it all, but it is a good resource for people that don't want to spend a lot of time going through stuff. It gives you ideas, simple things that you can grab and go.
Quick
like
guide.
I've got 2 hours to prep for this session. Oh crap! I need these things. That's how I built that thing. Cool, got it, done.
and the Ice Kingdoms. It's a campaign setting. I actually ran this campaign. It's a 3.5 setting. I think they've now got it set up as a 5e on Drive-Thru RPG. It's a really good setting if you're looking for more of like an old world Frozen North without like stepping into Icewind Dale.
Very Scandinavian vibes.
Yes, very much. They run very Norse gods.
Runes and
Runes,
this and that. Yeah,
it's a really good campaign. I ran it several years ago. Check it out.
yeah.
Again, thanks for watching and listening to Table Talk and Drinks. Drop some ideas and conversations you'd like to hear about in the comments, and then join us next time. We'll probably be still talking about Mythcraft Isekai. Again, I'm David Mode.
David Lott.
Derek.
Thanks for hanging in.